there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Sister Cerise. It is so nice to have you here. Today we're going to talk about Diddy. We're going to talk about Diddy because there are a lot of things in the news about him. And you know what? Let's get up front and center. Some of these things are so silly. I watched a podcast, and on one of the podcasts it said Mark Agnifilo is going to get Diddy more of a sentence because he's talking about their private business. And the person is actually reveling in this. The person is actually thinking that, yeah, Diddy's going to get more of a sentence now. No, that's not the way it works. Whether you love Diddy or whether you can't stand him, the law is the law. Now, let's get down to what Mark had said during an interview. It was a lovely interview. He let us in on some of the things that him and Diddy do, what they discuss, and I thought it was quite sweet. He talks to Diddy every single day, sometimes a couple of hours a day. This is a very busy lawyer, a very well-known lawyer. He must have a lot of cases that he's working on, but this case for him is monumental. And he didn't just leave his client behind bars and doesn't speak to him. He talks to him all the time. And I thought that spoke volumes about Mark. So kudos, Mark. Now, another thing that I thought was quite interesting is Diddy is actually not only talking to Mark about the law and his case, he's talking to him about his future as well. Now, some of you're like, Diddy shouldn't be planning his future. He should just get out and retire. And that's not for you to say. Nobody who is an artist or a business person should have to retire. Diddy, of course, he's being charged with what he's being charged with, but he's still an artist. And when people are hurt, when people are traumatized, when people are happy, they create art from those emotions. And I'm pretty sure you know that from all of the painters we've had throughout the world who goes into like lamentation when they are hurt and they want to put all that hurt out through their painting. Or here is another example. Taylor Swift. Every time she breaks up with a man, she's making a hit. And this is what happens just in general. Ladies and gentlemen, we become inspired by our hurt or we fall down and we can't get back up. And Diddy is the type of person who will get it. He's not going to get down and be held down. Now, let's just look at this. He wants to have a huge concert, a huge tour in Madison Square Gardens. Where else would he have it? He's a New Yorker, right? I'm Canadian. Sorry for the accent, New Yorker. That's what I hear when I hear New Yorkers. Or is that Bostonian? New Yorker. He's a New Yorker. Oh, please forgive all that. All right. On to my point. But that's what he is. He used to have the key to New York until they took it away from him during all of this trial stuff, the charges and everything of this nature. So he wants to take it back to basics and he's planning his future. And even if you don't like him, you have to understand that what he's doing right now is recreating himself. As he is in jail right now, he's not just sitting on his hands. He's actually proving that he is that billionaire businessman. The mindset behind the mogul is just moving like a hamster wheel. He knows he still has some time in there. He knows that just within the next month and a half, he is going to be getting sentenced. Now, I said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't think he's going to get any more than 20 months. He might get 24 months, but he's already did September will be 12 months, And by the time he gets sentenced, it'll be like, 13 months. And you also get a little bit of time and a half, I'm pretty sure. So he would have served over a year by that point. And he might get out on good behavior, because right now there is a lot of good behavior. He's going to school for, to learn anger management, and he's also going for rehabilitation from the substances. There's a lot happening in his life right now. And I do believe that he was beat down and demolished to be built back up. Now, you guys know from my past videos before the trial, I was not a Diddy lover at all. I was one of those people who I was just like, oh, here we go, Diddy. And I was not a Diddy supporter. However, I am a soul coach, and I do believe in supporting a person's soul, the core of who they are. And during that trial, I did hear a lot of love during the trial. The word was mentioned over 800 times in the whole entire trial. And not only that, the text messages that were sent to the girls, they weren't that bad. And not only that, what they brought out against Diddy was not something where a person like me, who can really get down in the nitty gritty, because I'm from the hood, okay? I come from the hood. I don't come from the streets per se. Some of my family did. I didn't. I made it out. But this video is not about me. We can do a Q&R one day and I can answer you more about that. But yes, I was raised in the hood, in the slums, and a lot of people around me, single parents, and I saw a lot, okay? I saw a lot of substances. I have a lot of friends that went to prison. I have a lot of friends that hurt people, and a lot of people that have been hurt as well. So when I look at the Diddy situation from a criminalistic experience background, I've never been in trouble, but just looking at people who have done things wrong, I was ready. I was ready to say, bring it on in the trial. I want to hear about that baby oil being tainted. I want to hear about the stories that have been going around Hollywood with him sleeping with this person and sleeping with that person. Bring it on. And every single day I was waiting for people like, all of the main podcasters that were in the courtroom and in the overflow courtroom. I was waiting on them to bring out the news. I'm telling you, during the breaks, during lunch, and then right after, I was waiting for all the lives, and I was sitting on edge. Okay, now today we're going to hear about him sleeping with someone. Today there's going to be one of his, peers that's going to go in. Is it going to be, maybe, I don't know, Jay-Z, maybe Jennifer Lopez? There's got to be a lot of secrets that the feds are keeping. They're not telling us. And then one by one, I was like, that's their testimonies? That's what the feds have? That's not RICO. That's not RICO. And a lot of you guys were like, yeah, it's RICO. It's RICO. But that's what you were considering RICO. That's what some people were considering RICO. We have to realize that that was not RICO. We have to realize that he didn't get off the charges. Okay. What happened was he wasn't properly charged to begin with. Now, these current charges, he will get off. He's planning his future. He's talking to his lawyer. He's thinking about certain songs. He's thinking about certain people he can collaborate with. He's thinking about, okay, what can I do when I get out? Yeah, of course. Madison Square Gardens. He's not a dreamer. He's a planner. He can do this. It's not like he's some guy sitting in a jail cell and never had a hit. He's literally a music mogul sitting in a jail cell waiting for his sentence and making plans for afterwards. And there's nothing illegal about that. And not only that, it makes sense. There's probably so much more than that going through his mind. He may want to do a whole entire tour. LA, Florida, Like Miami, here comes the music mogul. He might even want to do Toronto, where I'm from. And Diddy, just so you know, you're welcome here in the Dominican Republic. A lot of people do know you. So just please, guys, really don't start blaming his lawyer for letting you know about certain private conversations that they had. I think it is also admirable that Mark and Diddy together are having conversations outside of the crimes. Diddy is talking to him about his future again. That means that Mark is more than just an attorney. Mark is a human and speaks so much, like volumes, about their connection, their relationship. A lot of people are saying, oh, Mark is getting paid well by Diddy. Well, now I can see that he actually deserves that money, because he is working hard and he's working overtime. Now, I don't know if he's billing Diddy for these 2-hour conversations. I really don't know if Diddy is even worried about getting billed for these 2-hour conversations. But I don't think so, I think Diddy paid him. There's a flat fee. And I believe Diddy doesn't really need, when Diddy's talking to him on the phone, I don't believe that Diddy is asking for legal advice. I think they're literally talking. Diddy's saying to him, like, yo, man, yeah, there was a guy that got bladed below, because someone got bladed. You know what that means, below Diddy's cell, allegedly. And it's a pretty dangerous place that Diddy is in, the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York. And so, Mark Agnifilo is probably like, hey, we got to make sure that we got to look out for Diddy. Diddy is really getting taken care of right now from the guards. So Mark is saying that they're doing their best right now to make sure that Diddy is doing well in jail and he's looked out for. Now, some of you guys might say, oh, he's getting special attention. It's not special attention at all. Someone of Diddy's caliber, fame, quite often people like that are targeted in jail. And quite often they choose to go to protective custody. But in protective custody, you're dealing with a lot of other nails, so to speak, that can poke you. You're dealing with people who are like real child, whatever, and people who have done really bad, immoral things. And some of them are just off the wall crazy. And I would think that Diddy's life would be even more in danger in protective custody. So of course the guards have to look out for him. And I think that's another admirable thing, that they're not putting someone into his jail cell to mess with his brain. Sometimes that's what they'll do. They'll be like, oh, you know what? This dude thinks he's better than everyone else. He's going to be getting out soon. He got off on those RICO charges, and boom, man, put someone in his cell to mess with his mind and beat him, but they're not doing that. And so obviously he is as comfortable as he can be. And Mark was expressing that in the conversation during that podcast as well. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, Mark would never put his client in danger. Mark was letting his clients, fans, know that Diddy has plans for them when he comes out. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Sister Cerise. I'm so happy that you clicked on this video, because I know YouTube suggested a lot more videos, and you stayed till the end. You're a real one. God bless you. Have an amazing day today. Please do me a couple of favors. Number one, go to my other channels, Fairfax Files. It's a crime channel where I talk about a lot of true crime. And then I have another channel called Cerise Fairfax. It's about the Dominican Republic. So if you love the Dominican Republic and you've been here or planning to come here, go check me out there. I also have another channel called The Fifth Dimension, where I talk about like relationships and stuff of that nature. As a soul coach, that's where I give a lot of my soul coaching information. But also, last but not least, go ahead and subscribe if you gained any information, any insight, or any enjoyment from this video. Remember, guys, I'm on all the platforms, so go ahead and add me on any of the platforms that you're on social media. But the biggest favor I can ask you to do is please be good to yourself out there. Tomorrow is not promised, so make the best of today. I'll see you next video. Have an amazing day. I love you.